Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on the screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Everybody.
And we are back with Jettin back to 95, the Winnipeg Jets 95-96 season. Return to the top. Jeff, we have changed the course of NHL history.
Yeah, you did get a cup, but wound up not being able to defend it.
Yes, we didn't win last year, sadly. Calgary got back on top, as they are still have basically most of their 80s team.
Yeah, which I won 4 cups in a row. But what you were driving at, though, was what we did in the off season with the expansion.
Yes. We stopped Quebec from leaving, so Quebec has stayed in the NHL. Hartford is no longer moving as well. Instead,
they would have gone, I think, a couple of years later. But
yes, 2 years later. Instead, we brought in the Colorado Avalanche, who have joined the league in 95, as well as the Carolina Hurricanes have joined a little early.
And left the divisions unbalanced.
Just our division doesn't have. I don't know. Sorry, 8-1 and 6 in ours. Oops.
Yep.
We'll get those things balanced.
They make sense geographically, because I don't know who you'd move out of the Atlantic to. You'd have to shuffle somebody into the Atlantic to the northeast and then push.
You can move Washington up.
I don't know, Buffalo maybe.
Yeah.
Into the central, they wouldn't be happy about it.
Well, we could move Ottawa because we have Toronto. That might work. Doesn't matter. Anyways, we're going to be expanding. We're going to be expanding and adding Phoenix next year, or such is the plan. But as we're getting closer to the end, Jeff had an interesting idea. We've been playing this now. This will be our 6th season as manager of the Jets. And so Jeff brought up the idea of going back and looking at how our team has unfolded over the years. So we took over the Jets.
Specifically the trading history?
Yes, in 89-90.
Yeah.
Trying to make them better. So
and filtered for trades. Otherwise, you're going to get all the players being sent up and down.
All right, we're going to go quick then. So in October of 1989, we took Grant Fuhr from Edmonton, and we gave up nothing. We gave up our backup, Daniel Biothion, Dan Bosma, and a second and a 6th-round pick.
He did stay as backup for the Oilers for a couple of years and wound up going to Boston, so...
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They got a little bit out of him. Bilesma, did he ever... 8 career games for the Oilers. Well, actually, just 8 career games. He finally made the team this season because he was in college when we traded him.
Yeah.
And he stayed in there for 2 more years. He's actually had a decent AHL career, so...
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to stick with the Oilers now.
Grant Fuhr has actually declined to 2 stars now, but we ended up having him...
Still a starter in Buffalo.
Yeah, we kept him for just over a year and a half before we let him go and went to Buffalo, and he's had a very successful career in Buffalo.
Yep.
Let's see, his stats has been pretty good. Other than this year, or this past year, wasn't that great for him. But yeah,
a little more.
Yeah, I think that was a trade that worked out for us because it helped push us into becoming a better team and gave us a goaltending stability.
No, the next one, you got a good player. But
Breeze 837 in the chat says, I started getting into FHM 7 since I don't have 8. Does FHM 7 have the AHL? I don't see the option for leagues on startup.
It's not any option. You have to take it. The NHL and the AHL are always active in any
unless you're playing a custom game. If you want to click on standard game, Breeze.
Yeah, it'll always be in there.
Yeah. The next big move we made... we took Greg Hoggood and a throwaway, basically.
And Hoggood had a couple of good years for you. Well, part of the year, and then one good year, and then you sent him to the Rangers, and where he became a lot better. But Kozlowski is still hanging around in San Jose.
He's in Boston.
Nope, he lost. They gave him up in the expansion draft.
He's in Boston now. No.
Oh no, he's back in Boston. He just signed with them this.
Yeah, he was in San Jose, and Dave McLean. He's hung around in Edmonton now.
A couple of decent years, decent career in Boston and with Edmonton now. Not bad.
Yeah. So, I don't think that trade helped set up a few other things. Some of these early trades helped set up other things. So, the big ones here was we picked up Peter Stastny.
Who didn't really do a whole lot with us. I mean, he was with us for 2.5 seasons or so, and then went in the San Jose expansion draft.
Yeah. Well, we didn't sign him at that point, I don't believe. Yeah, he put up, 36 points. He was just kind of a half-point guy for us playing low minutes. We eventually brought in his brother. And we had
none of the guys you sent more than, I guess the second round pick would have been the big one. We got it's actually on our to-do list right now, is maybe getting those picks to show what the pick was actually used for. I'm not sure if it's technically feasible, but I want to get that in the history.
And Stefan Beauregard, who apparently is now in Lithuania playing.
Yeah, he never really worked out for Quebec, so played part of the season. Looks like he wound up going released or picked on waivers, maybe by the Flyers.
Our big one here was we got Johnny Ogrodnik from the Rangers, who
had a little bit longer career, yeah.
But he had a pretty good career for us. He helped us
for a couple seasons.
Yeah, he helped us for a couple seasons, but we dumped him pretty quick because we needed the room for some of our younger guys coming in, and he was starting to decline. But was a building block for us.
Yeah, it did cost us a first-round pick.
Yeah. And then we did pick up Guy Lafleur for Doug Smale in June of 1990.
Yeah, and Smale, he spent 3 seasons in Quebec and retired.
Yeah. Guy Lafleur played 2 seasons for us. And you know what? He had 80 points in his first year and 44 in his second. So we can't really complain about that. He came through and, played pretty darn well for us. And that was our first year. Our second year, just a bunch of little moves again. Like we gave up Jason Zent, or we got Jason Zent for Luke Crawford.
Never really used him. Essensa went to Buffalo because I think he had 3 or 4 goalies at that point.
So we wanted him to play. So he's currently a free agent. Actually, we could bring him back.
We got Paul Stanton back, who. Looks like we never re-signed and wound up going to Quebec as a free agent. He's got a little bit of a career. He gets about a half season.
Just looking at Ron Wilson here, he didn't do too much. He didn't do too much after we traded him. Our big move, though, in 91, though, was we got Brendan Shanahan.
Yeah, and at first glance, it looks like it was a steal, but then take a look at the careers a couple of those guys had.
What?
Raimo Helminen, who was, in real life, he left the NHL in 89, but actually went back to Finland, and he's certainly good enough to play in the NHL, but never came back.
Yeah, he actually...
He stays here, and he winds up going to New Jersey, and for Shanahan.
92-93 had 89 points.
Yep.
59 points, yeah. He has done incredibly well. And actually turned out...
He was nearly a point per game last year, too, so he's still a
3.5-star guy, which I don't think he was when we signed him, but it was so long ago I can't remember for sure.
Actually, outscored Shanahan in 1, 2... they've had 4 full seasons, and he's outscored Shanahan in 2 of them.
Yeah. And Guy Lafleur, who's bounced around between us and a few other teams...
Lafleur?
Guy Hebert. Or Hebert.
Yeah.
Has done pretty well.
The starter in San Jose last year when they started to turn the corner, so he's getting better. So a decent, an okay-ish goalie and a pretty good forward for Shanahan, who's done reasonably well for us. I mean, we got a cup out of it, so can't complain.
Yep.
And then a few spare parts that
I doesn't look
that bad for New Jersey in retrospect.
Well, yeah. I think it was actually a pretty even trade, all things considered.
Yep.
Another throwaway trade at the start, just kind of moving guys around.
91, 92, that kind of hurts at the bottom, though. If you look at what
Greg Hoggood for Joseph Stumple.
Yeah, look what Hoggood did the following year.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Stumple started to come on now, so
yeah,
Hoggood.
I mean, Hoggood had 71-point season.
Yep.
And is actually on the expansion Hurricanes now, so he'll probably get a bunch of playing time this year and put up.
I mean, he put up 44 points with us when we traded him. So I mean, like,
yeah,
you got a little more playing time, and yeah, things really worked out. But at the same time, we got Joseph Stumple, who's been a pretty solid 30-point guy for us consistently, like 30, 30, 39.
70 points off the blue line would have been nice.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, well, Hoggood might be playing some forward on there, too. He might have been playing forward when he got all those points. Eventually, though, our next big trade, though, was we traded Grant Fuhr for Alexander Mogilny, and I think that's been a pretty good trade for us. Mogilny's been declining as of late, but, I mean, he's still a pretty solid...
Still a point a game last year, and he's been pretty reliable for the 4 years we've had him.
Gets a little
Although Fuhr's done well for the Sabres, too.
Yeah, okay. This trade ended up being a bit of a wash. We brought in Mark Howe for Ogrodnik, and Mark Howe he played fine, but he didn't really get very much for us.
Yeah, he retired, and the Flyers got 3 or 4 solid years out of Ogrodnik before he retired.
Yeah.
He lasted a little bit longer than he did in real life.
Yeah, Mo Mantha for a 7th-round pick. Mo Mantha's actually still hanging on, so good for him.
Just barely.
Pat Flatley he's actually played well. We traded him for Brian Trottier, hoping Trottier would help us for that final year, and he got hurt a lot.
Yeah, he seems to have been pretty steady with
32 points.
The Rangers or the Islanders. He's only missed a couple of games in the last 3 years.
32 games Trottier played for us and had 12 points. But I think, not that one. Playoffs. Yeah, he had 5 points in 7 playoff games for us. So I mean, Trottier was trying. He was just at the end of his career.
We did get what we wanted out of him, the playoff experience, but
yeah, it just didn't work out for us. Yeah. And then we traded Dan Hodson for Scott Walker. Scott Walker still might turn out. We don't know yet.
Finally getting to the NHL at least.
Yeah,
it's only 1 star. Laurie Boschman, who we've had, how many times has he been on the roster? Like 3 times in this replay, separately.
I'm looking here. Let's see.
We had him at the start. We traded him to Quebec. We got him back at one point.
Yeah, we took him back in 91.
And I think that the last couple of years are hilarious. He's been 4, 7, 9 different teams in the last 2 years.
He's been bouncing around. He's retired now, but yeah, he was bouncing around.
Oh, he did retire. Yeah. There we
go. Yeah, and then Ruzynka played a little bit for us. He was okay. And we traded Peter Stastny away for a 4th-round pick.
Out of it, so, yeah.
And 92-93, we got busy here a little bit. We picked up Michel Goulet, hoping he was going to do something, and he did absolutely nothing. But we traded absolutely nothing for him, so that was fine.
Although he did manage to stay in the league for a couple of seasons after that. He went to San Jose the following year.
We traded him we traded him at the end of the season, or not halfway through the season. In February, that we traded Michel Goulet for a 9th-round pick. He just was not working out for us. We picked up Gusarov. Oh, no, we traded away Gusarov for Dave Poulin because Gusarov was not playing for us. He's been playing still pretty well. We would still like to kind of probably have him, but we weren't going to be able to hold on to him. I think we were going to lose him.
He's getting playing time in Ottawa, but I'm not sure what he would have been top 6 on us.
Right. I did skip over our best trade, though. Our best trade was we got Eric Weinrich for Rick Tabaraki, the rights to Sean Cronin, and a few picks.
Yeah.
So
Tabaraki was playing and starting in Anaheim last year, but did the Devils get they got him on waivers from the Devils, so the Devils really got nothing out of that?
Yeah, we traded Randy Carlyle because we weren't going to use him. We traded Dave Ellett, who's still hung around and actually had 57 points.
Yeah, Ellett was declining, and then we thought he was nearly done. He put up 57 points in his first season with the Hawks. Oops.
Second season.
First full season.
Yeah.
But we didn't get anything at all out of that, so I think that's
we got a second round out. We got a second round pick out of that.
Yeah, second round. Yeah, okay. I still think
you could probably look. One good trade for us was we got Fedosov for a spare part, and Fedosov actually played really well for us.
Yep, before he retired.
Yep. So he ended up playing 2 seasons for us. He had 24 points in 33 games, and then had 16 points in 55 games playing as 7th defenseman. So I mean, you can't really be mad about that. And then we picked up the other Greg Adams.
Yep, after getting the first Greg Adams.
Yes.
And I don't think the Canucks really got much useful out of it. I mean, Berezan played a little for him last year. Russell has played third and fourth line minutes. That's not bad. And Patterson, they never even signed. He wound up signing with the free agents, Buffalo.
Yeah, that second and fourth round pick. That second round pick might have been the one from the Ellett trade, actually. So the fact that brought us Greg Adams actually worked out. Moving on to the next year.
That first one, did we really trade a first and second round pick to get Daryl Shannon? I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either. I don't think. No, we definitely did not do that. Daryl Shannon has never been on this team. Something weird happened there.
Wait, let me look at this.
Oh, that's his real stats. Sorry.
Complete history.
Yeah, no, he's not.
No, you lost him on waivers to San Jose before the season started. But I don't remember trading a first and second rounder for him.
There is 0% chance we traded away a first rounder for him.
I don't know if that got recorded wrong and it was a different level pick or what, but
Crew stats.
It was terrible if we didn't. Although, actually, he had a really good year with Pittsburgh last year. 29 points in a shortened season.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, there's 0% chance we gave.
Yeah, if we actually did that, it was a terrible trade.
No, we should look into that. So that was 93. Can make a note of that and try and find the stream of that. July 93. That's good to know. The Bob Corcoran trade didn't really work as well. I mean, it wasn't bad. It gave us a little bit of depth, but I mean, he played 2 games for us.
You moved him to the Rangers pretty quickly after that, and I don't think Ritushny, he's played a few games for the Sabres here and there over the years, but he hasn't really done a whole lot.
Right, that gave us Brian Mullen, and Mullen's been hanging on. He hasn't been doing much, but he's been hanging on.
Yeah, not really with us. He didn't do anything at all with us, and we traded him before the end of the season. Yeah. Actually, he had 1 goal in 33 games.
Which is why he got traded. And then, we traded away Ken Reggett for Jay Pandolfo.
And Reggett hasn't played in the NHL since you traded him.
Yeah. Thing from Breeze837 in chat. I changed resolutions from FHM7 when I start. Nothing has changed. Even though it says it's changed, my resolution looks kind of unplayable in some features. So, Breeze, are you on Windows 10 or 11?
You may have the magnification feature turned on that.
So you'll need to go
set to something other than 100%. So if you change that to 100, it should,
make a big difference. That would be, that's my guess. Is you have the zoom feature on right now, and that's messing with how it looks. Another trade that didn't really work out for us. We traded away Greg Adams.
Mildly, Dino Ciccarelli in his 1 goal in 41 games last year.
Yeah, Ciccarelli, I thought he was going to do more. Had 10 points in 49 games. And Greg Adams had 28. But again, it didn't... Actually, this was the year we won the Cup, so I guess it did work, right? But Greg Adams was not in a... He wanted way too much money.
Was that why we got rid of him?
Yeah, he wanted a bunch of money. Breeze, you have to just go on your desktop, right-click, go to personal settings, I think. Something like that.
Personalize, I think it is.
Personalize, yeah. And then you'll find the option in there. Our big trade... Okay, was this last year? Okay, this was last year. Okay, so this was after we won the Cup, yeah. We traded away Pat Elnick, who's been kind of dipping, and he still dipped in Florida. And the big pickup...
He had a good year in Florida.
Sorry?
He had a good year in Florida.
He had 35 points. Games. I mean, he had 47 points the year before. That's a...
Yeah, but he only played 48 games. His schedule was shortened. He would have been he would have been over 50 in a full year.
He was starting to dip with us. But the big reason why I did this is because we started recognizing we are going to be under some salary cap issues. So getting a young defenseman who was on a good contract, which is what Patrice Brisebois was, so we picked him up.
And he's a good defensive defenseman. We need those.
Yeah. And then we traded away Brian Marchment because he was declining a bit. And Yuri Slager, I really wanted him to work, but he was just not doing anything.
And he actually made the team in Florida. I mean, he played
10 points. Played 4 games in the IHL too. But he was just not working for us. So I'm happy to see him getting some success. And that's kind of where we end up. We're back now. We've made one trade, actually. We picked up John Clem as an extra defenseman for Steve Dubinsky in a 9th round pick. Dubinsky looks to be on their team, made the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry, what did I turn off? Breeze, you need to find the zoom feature, and your zoom feature is probably set at least 125. Back that off. And so that's where we are to now. So right now we've made one trade. Our team is actually fairly well drafted with a few free agent signings and guys we picked up on the waiver draft. So Dominic Hasek's still our number 1 goalie. We have Damian Rhodes as our backup. We have Chris Mason slowly coming, but we picked up a Finnish goaltender as well. Nothing major coming behind that. Then, Sergei Zubov's leading our defense. Teppo Numanin's still around. Fredrik Olofsson's still around. Eric Weiner, Patrice Brisebois. Roman Hammerlick's starting to turn into the guy we want him to be, so he's made the team this year. Adrian Aucoin and Jason Cullimore are pushing for spots. Shanahan, Mogilny, Maltby, Cunnyworth kind of take up the entire left wing. Howard, Chuck Stumple, Barnes, Zamnoff, Arnott. So we got lots of good centers. And Solani, Kristovich, Draper are coming up the right wings. Our right wings are a little bit short, but at the same time, we got centers who can kind of play everywhere. So honestly, I feel like we're doing all right here.
Yep. Chris Gratton down to half a star and 1 star potential. I'm not sure what's gone wrong with him. That's just doesn't seem to be working out for him.
He might get there. Yeah.
Surprising.
We're just going to sim through a bunch of things here because I'm not too worried about it. 6-3 victory and Mogilny gets hurt because of course he does. Back soreness. So we'll immediately just put in Titov, who we have here for that exact reason.
You may want to call up one more forward. Walker, Pandolfo.
This is just preseason, right? We're just kind of going to run through this. And Zubov just gets hurt. Oh, man. Zubov's at 7 days with a thumb contusion. So John Clem gets in. All right. I guess we're calling up Pandolfo for now. And we'll call up Adrian Aucoin in case he needs to get into the games. It worked, Breeze says. Good. Wait, the Whalers moved overkill? No, the Whalers moved in 97. They moved the year after the Jets. We just stopped them from going to be able to move and then decided to expand a little early.
So they'll stay in Hartford now, and Carolina will get their own team, which is probably going to be pretty terrible this year. Because we weren't generous at all in the expansion draft, and they drafted really poorly on top of that. So
we gave them the 90s rules of drafting.
They did get Brad Tiley, who was our former Calder winner and a big surprise for us, but still only 2 stars. We just couldn't protect all of our defensemen and wound up losing him. So he'll probably be their big star this year, which is how bad that team is.
Yeah. Oh, the Canucks have Roman Czechmanek in net. Oh, that's nice. And we're still just trying to get through some games here, hoping more guys don't get hurt. And picking up wins anyways as we keep going.
Paul Reinhardt, with his bad back, is still hanging on in Vancouver, although he's missing about between 3/4 and half of every season for the last 3 or 4 years.
Ooh, that is a rough training camp report. 5 guys going up.
Oh, wow.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys going down.
That's the least improvement I've ever seen in a training camp report. Wow.
Oof.
And it's some key guys too. Howard Chuck slipping. Well, he's 32 now.
But... Well, I mean, this was 32. Yeah, he started getting to injuries at this point. Mogilny and Kristovich are dipping a little bit quicker than I would like. But season tickets announced. Winnipeg's got 8,500 tickets, basically. Yeah. Playing Philadelphia here. We'll throw Rhodes back in net. And we should have a waiver draft coming up here pretty quick, I think.
Yep.
And John Clem just got injured. How long's he out for? 3 to 4 months. Torn thigh muscle.
Way to blow your chance there, guy.
All right, so Adrian Aucoin comes in.
Jason Collmore waiting behind him.
All right, so we got to send him to the injured list. Thanks, John Clem. Awesome. I guess we'll be looking for a defenseman on the waiver draft.
Overkill asking, Chad, when we'll get some details on FHM 9 soon. I was hoping to have something out really soon, but there's a couple of little things we got to deal with first. But I think people are going to be pretty happy with what we're adding to the game this year. Pretty good list.
All right, someone out here playing the Islanders with those beautiful jerseys and logos.
See, the Sabres are bringing back the black and red.
I saw that.
But no Buffaslug.
Buffaslug?
Yeah, you remember the logo that looked like a slug? Supposed to be a buffalo?
You mean like the angry head or what? I don't.
Yeah. No, not the red and black one. Not like it was blue and gold. But it was slug-like.
I cannot think of this. Send me a picture of what I need to be looking at. Okay, so we're starting to make some money. Alexander Mogilny is ready to come play, but we're going to hold him out till he is ready to go. Okay, so we got to do our waiver draft. So we're protecting Hasek and Rhodes. And then we're just protecting everybody by their...
I sent you a picture of the Buffalo.
Okay, well, that's like their early 2010s logo.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
So I guess that's not. There's not enough nostalgia for that yet.
Well, it was the last time the team was successful. I think it should be pretty nostalgic.
And what do you think of them spending $7 million a year on Thompson?
I think
a good year last year, but
I tweeted from the FHM account. That was an eyebrow raise.
Yeah, I mean, if you can keep putting up 60-plus points a season, pretty good. But
I guess we'll protect John Clem even though he's hurt, because I really don't care about any of these other guys.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, we just...
You look at that list and be like, who else are we going to protect? I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to lose anybody here.
No. All right. Season preview has us being a Stanley Cup favorite, probably mostly because of Dominic Hasek.
Not a surprise.
And he's named a top goaltender, so yeah.
And Montreal and Calgary are the three Canadian teams.
Yes. All right, so let's look at the interleague draft page.
And Chelios is still in Montreal. I never traded him for Denis Savard.
Let's see. Whoa. What? Apparently I went to my pick, so I skipped by everybody. Okay, Daryl Shannon actually got picked up and went back to Pittsburgh. Chris Terreri, Robert Cron from Winnipeg got picked. All right. Phil Bork, Darren Pupa, Jay McLennan, Lyle Oderline, Keith Jones, Ken Hodge.
Ken Hodge Jr.
Well, that should be obvious at this point. Jeff Reese, Sean Van Allen. All right, so who's left here? Bob Corcoran, Steve Dubinsky. We could take back from Montreal just to upset them. Miroslav Horva. don't know the guy at all.
Pretty Koscheck if you want some toughness. Or Turner Stevenson is a little better than the guys we've got on right wing now. Canucks legend Sean Antosky.
Oh, it says real stats. Played 3 seasons for the Rangers. Okay. Again, we kind of need a defenseman, so. Rudy Koscheck?
Yep. More of a goon than really a defenseman, but can play wing too if you need him.
Anybody else interesting here on? All right, let's just take everybody. Let's just only look at defensemen here. See if anybody jumps out.
Yeah, like Gates is down there.
Who, sorry?
Link Gates.
Oh. Kevin Dean. That wouldn't be a terrible ad. He's still got a little bit of potential, even though he's 26. But we only
very little potential. Yeah.
Link Gates isn't even signed to anybody. Mark LaForge.
Mostly tough guys here.
Rudy Pylon. Or Rich Pylon. There we go. Yeah, boy, that is...
If you want a little extra defensive depth, I'm not sure you really need it even with the injuries. Because you've got a bunch of guys in the minors. And even more unsigned. I would probably go with a forward. Or with Koscheck, who can do both.
Let's look here for a second. Turner Stevenson would be an interesting ad.
Yeah, he's still young. First rounder in real life, if I remember right.
I was just looking at his stats there quick.
Just hasn't really worked out for Montreal.
Oh, you take Gretzky. If you bring Gretzky in?
Which one? Keith?
Brent.
Not even Keith.
Ripping it up in the minors, had 63 points in 81 games.
Yeah, if you want to.
Why not? Let's bring in Brett Gretzky just to say we have Brett Gretzky. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Oh, wait, is it not? Is it not my pick?
Still,
Oops. Sure. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Oh, now where did Gretzky go?
There he is. He's still right there.
Oh, right there.
You were.
Yeah, I got him.
You had him on the screen.
Okay, we have selected Brett Gretzky to bring. And Mike Richard, Jeff Reese, and Stefan Fisset end up going. So we've brought in Gretzky.
I think did you get Gretzky? Was he signed, or did you just get his rights?
No, we got him. He signed. 1 year.
He's on the. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna send Pandolfo back down for now, anyways. He's only half star showing up now, so awesome. Zubov is at 100%, so we can bring a coin back out and replace him with Zubov. And debate exactly what we need to do here. Sure. I don't care if guys want to change their numbers. Makes fans buy more jerseys, right? And first game of the year versus the Devils. And it's a 5-2 victory. Kristovich has 1 assist, and he is the #1 star.
Verdurless Devils, since they never drafted him in this game.
Yes.
He's actually been in Quebec where he hasn't He's done okay, but he hasn't really been at the Martin Brodeur-like career so far.
Oh, oops. Who got suspended? Oh, T-Tough. Bruised. Okay, I guess Mogilny's ready to come back anyway, so that works out. And there. Game versus the Leafs here, and 5-4 victory. Again, nice. Like it.
Check your player roles. Did you need to reset any of those?
That's a great... Oh, look at this. Hold on. Greg Adams hurt for 6 months.
Okay. Well, I mean, Cicerelli's retired, so he's still going to be more productive than Cicerelli. Howardchuk's still got a point streak going, an assist streak going, too.
I guess all the guys who I need to check aren't currently in the lineup, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're okay then. For now.
For now. Game versus Pittsburgh, who are still quite a powerhouse, and we beat them 6-3. Titoff's almost at 100%. Mogilny's
pretty bad defensively, though. Although Coffey is still hanging on at 34, but after him, there's basically nothing.
Howardchuk's streak ends, but Mogilny gets to 6 games with a goal. And we're playing Carolina and beat them 3-2. Should have beat them by more than that.
Yeah, by a lot more, actually.
Bob Essens is on waivers. It's tempting to bring him back and send down Damian Rhodes.
Nah, Rhodes has got a lot more potential.
All right. Howardchuk has a point streak of 15 games, and Mogilny just got hurt day to day. Gonna need to wrap Mogilny in bubble wrap. Oh, he can play through it. He's gonna play through it. Playing against Ottawa.
26.
6-0 beat down of Ottawa. Slaney has a hat trick. And we got lots of points so far. Game versus Vancouver. Let's throw Damian Rhodes in for a game because it's versus Vancouver. And 6-5 loss. Because Jeff made it so.
Here. All my fault.
Wow. Ooh, that second period hurt us. Gave up 5 goals.
Ouch.
Oh. Mogilny's almost 100%. Game versus Carolina. Ooh, Mogilny needs to come out. Ooh, he's at 38%. Replace with Titov.
Uri had a terrible year last year. Only played 18 games and 6 points.
Carolina hasn't won a game yet.
Well, not surprising. They actually were even with us in shots. That's impressive, considering what they're playing with.
Game versus Hartford. So you have to run the Tim Shovel Day. Is in Hartford's net. Beat Hartford 4-1. Chris Draper scores. Titov, Arnott, Zamnov. All right. Barnes is hurt. Day-to-day shin. So Titov comes out. Replaces with Mogilny. Titov's going to step right in for Stu Barnes. Because he can play center. Oh, there we go. Titov is a screener, so let's actually go change his tactic then. Even though it's kind of been working for him. Two-way forward. 13. We don't need a back-checking forward for him.
He was a pretty good two-way guy. I remember him getting some
oh, there's a little
Selke votes.
5-0 beat down on Calgary.
That's encouraging.
Very much so.
Defending Cup champions. And the guys that knocked us out last year.
Yes. Howardchuck's down to 81%. We're going to keep going here. 6-3 victory. And Stumple gets a couple of assists. Nice. Zubov's actually leading for points, was that? Stu Barnes is ready. Game versus Anaheim. Okay, we're going to give Rhodes another game here. And it's a 3-2 victory. Joe Ricci has 1 goal, 1 assist for Anaheim. And we're off to a 10-1 start. Yeah, we actually have top 2 guys for points so far.
I assume our owner is fairly happy with this. Yeah, because it looked like some of our guys were starting to head downhill production-wise. Like last year wasn't great at all. It's surprising to see them on top like that.
Howardchuck's down to 63%. We might have to sit him for a game. Beat down to St. Louis. Mogilny has a hat trick. Slaney's got 2 goals. Hammerlick's got 2 assists.
Have you got his ice time set a little too high, maybe?
We'll take a look there in a second.
34%.
Okay, let's look back here. Howardchuck played 16 minutes, 49 seconds. He played 5 minutes, 55 seconds on the power play. So I don't think he's skating crazy hard. Chris Chelios got hurt. Howardchuck's got 64% versus the Leafs. We set him for a game? Yeah, we'll set him for a game.
Maybe put Jamnov in the first spot or just redo
No, I'm not redoing all that. Titoff's coming in to play first line center.
What you can do is, if you want, I'll do that. But then in the pregame screen, just have the AI reselect your lines, and that'll only affect them for the 1 game.
I'll just put Zamnoff up on the number 1 line here for right now, just like this.
Yeah, like that. So when you make the change there in the pregame screen, it only affects the 1 game. It doesn't do it
3-2 loss.
Permanently.
We got outshot by Toronto. All right, Titov comes back out. He gets replaced.
I don't remember how good Toronto's been in this game.
They've been kind of up and down, I think. Oh, we've got passed on points now. Game versus Pittsburgh. I mean, players.
They were just about 500 last year.
3-2 loss to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, like a borderline playoff team most years.
40 shots to 25, and we can't get past. Back-to-back games versus Dallas and Edmonton. Let's throw Rhodes in for the first game. And it's a 4-2 victory with Rhodes in the net. All right, couple power play goals to start off, and Zamnoff scores shorthanded. All right, game versus Edmonton here. Our check's down to 70% again. And 4-4 tie versus Edmonton. All right, they went up 2-1 after the first. We went up 3-2, but they tied it in the second. And yeah.
And hey, look at Bielsma. Got 5 goals already this year.
And Solani got hurt. He's day-to-day. All right, so Solani's out, which means Titoff's coming in. All right, let's see here. Development report. Johan Hecht is going up by a good chunk like that. Peter Worrell going up. Sergio Ben, Curtis Brown, that's a good one. Matthew Dandino. Ian LaPerriere, Chris Mason, Byron Ritchie, Brent Sopel. Chris Draper went up, but Cunnyworth went down, Kristovich went down, and Mogilny went down. We might have to look about... And oh, look at that. Timo Solani was named Player of the Month. All right, we're going to continue.
How are the expansion teams doing so far?
All right, board confidence update first. Thinks the team is in outstanding shape because we went 12-3-1. He is happy with our work. Just going to take a quick look at the job security here. We're pretty high for job security. And yeah, fan happiness is pretty high.
Yep, been looking good.
Other than the minus 25 for ticket price starting. You wanted to know how the other teams are doing. Solani is leading the league in points with 29 right now and is 3 goals shy of Michael Renberg for the league lead.
Carolina 0-15-1. Ouch. Colorado's got 4 wins already, though.
Yeah, Colorado's significantly better than Carolina. Who
actually tied with Anaheim and ahead of Florida. But yeah, no, you could see Carolina was going to be bad. There's just nothing on that team.
No, it's a disaster. All right, here. Yeah, Martin Brodeur is in Quebec. And we beat them 6-3. Patrice Brisebois has 2 assists. T-Duff gets an unassisted power play goal. Smokey Reddick is available from Colorado if we want a different backup. But I think we're good.
Yeah.
Chicago is shopping Brian Lawton.
He's still in the league. Wow. He had quit and become an agent by this point, I think. Yeah, 92-93 was his last real season.
5-3 victory over Dallas. They went up 2-0. We get closer, and then we dominate the third period. Shorthanded goal, empty net goal from Chris Draper. Teppo Newman didn't get injured, though. How long is he out? 2 to 3 weeks. All right. Adrian Aucoin, it is your time to shine. And we're just going to continue simming here. Things are going well. No, might have to... Oh, wait. Solani's probably ready to come back, wouldn't he be? He got to be close. No, not yet.
Big game from Zubov.
Teppo Newman is ready to hit the ice again, so he's getting close. But Solani's still just day to day. All right, game versus the Canadians here. God punishing Carolina for taking Hartford away from us. Overkill of ASE says. 5-0 victory over Montreal. All right. Zubov with a hat trick and an assist. Nice. Teemu Selanne is ahead of schedule. Oh, there we go. You know what? Hasek seems to be liking play in just about every game, so yeah, another victory over Chicago there. Shanahan with 2 goals. And
going at a point.
Zalapukin?
Yeah, Larry Zalapukin.
They're looking at moving him. 3.5 stars.
3.5 stars, and he's off to a pretty good start.
I don't recognize that name.
Devils.
Okay. Yeah, and then Edmonton for a little bit. Philly and Chicago. All right, Teemu Selanne is back, but we're going to give him one more game off. So he gets up, and then we're going to give Howard Chuck the night off the next night. And it's a 6-3 victory over St. Louis. Oh, yes. Tactics, players. Adrian Aucoin does not need to be a screener. Point shooter makes sense for him.
Yeah.
All right. Good thing I thought of that finally. Okay. Tedov comes out, who's been pretty darn successful at plug and play. He's got 5 points in 14 games. Howard Chuck's going to come out of the lineup for this one.
He'd be a rookie, but he's too old.
And Titoff is going to go play center for this game versus Tampa Bay.
Is there any reason you're keeping Gretzky up?
Yeah, not particularly. Stumple scores. Okay, yeah, we put a beat down on them. Okay, so Titoff comes out now, and we're going to put Howardchuk back in. We will send Brett Gretzky down because we don't. Jeff doesn't want to have a Gretzky on the roster. Game versus Toronto. Not going to change anything else. Just play. And it's a 4-2 loss to Toronto. Toronto has had our number the past 2 years. And they continue to. I don't know what we're doing versus Toronto. Must be because we kept trying to get Eddie Olczyk in there, just causing issues. Home and home versus Toronto. All right, Toronto, you're in the Thunderdome now. 6-1 victory over Toronto, the back-to-back, though. Booyah. 35 shots to 25.
Captain in Toronto.
All right. I feel much better about this. Continuing. And we're moving quickly through the season. Jeff playing Calgary. Do we win it? And we do. 2-0 victory. Shut them out
21,
again.
4-1 start.
Hasek makes 26 saves. Being that we only haven't won 5 games, I feel pretty good about that so far.
By the way, you may want to take a look at your trainings. I don't think you've touched that in a couple of years, and you've got it set to manual.
I thought I switched it.
Nope.
Okay. We will take a quick peek then here for a second. Teppo Numminen is getting close to returning. So how has our friend Adrian O'Coin done? He's had 5 points in 9 games. All right.
It looks like it's in fairly good shape, or at least was at the start of the stream. I don't know if it may have changed a little bit with your roster change, but it looks okay.
All right. Okay, our training, actually, I think I touched it up off camera, and
everything balanced pretty well.
Yeah, rebalanced out some stuff. The other thing is we don't have Roman Hammerlick improving on anything, so maybe we should get him on something. Take Solani off a couple. I don't think he really needs offensive training, Solani. So let's put those on Hammerlick and see if that helps him. I think that seems fair. And 4-2 loss to St. Louis. Oh, man, there's our 5th loss of the season. We outshot them 42-20 and lost.
Big game from Joseph.
He stood on his head, apparently. Not a great game from Hasek, but Teppo Numminen said he's ready to come back, so we'll bring him in the next game.
99 defensive game rating for Cunningworth in that one.
Doesn't mean anything if we don't win. 6-1 victory over Ottawa. Saku Koivu scores for them. Bobby Dallas is still hanging on, too, in Ottawa. And then Sergei Zubov just goes out day to day because, we get one defenseman back, so why not lose another one?
Hey, have a look at the Coin stats. How's he doing?
I did just look at that. He had 5 points.
So I keep seeing him on the star list.
Yeah, 8 points in 11 games now.
Nice.
Yep, just contributing.
Yep.
Doing what he needs to do. November's getting
it. Not great if you're John Clem, who blew his chance by getting hurt and would have been in that spot.
Yeah. 7-1 victory over Colorado, who, again, are not... they're actually 9-18-0, so, winning one game for every 2 they lose.
And they've somehow got Stefan Fiset in goal.
Yeah.
And just realized they got Kiprusoff in the draft.
Yeah.
So they got him coming.
Actually, I think all of the expansion teams took decent goalies in the draft. Looking, Johan Hecht again, big bump for him like that. Peter Worrell, big bump. Curtis Brown, big bump. Wade Belak getting a couple bumps. Brian Ritchie, Brent Sopel again taking big bumps. Nice. Adrian Aucoin goes up a couple. Hammerlick, Zamnoff, Howard Chuck drops one more. And Solani had the first month. Best goalie of November, Dominic Hasek. We're going to continue to cruise here. Playing the Sharks, we'll put Rhodes back in for a game.
Forsberg's up to 4.5 stars for the Sharks now. But
P-Wog, thanks for coming out. Yeah, sorry. I didn't show Jeff that picture. You had me stop and think about what you were talking about, but I remember now. I'll make sure he does. Maltby got suspended for 2 games. And board confidence, yep. Of course, Richard Burke thinks everything's going great. As it is. Because, yeah. So Maltby's coming out and Titas coming in. You're going to have to stop and have a look here pretty soon. Okay, Brett Hall signs in St. Louis. How much, Jeff? Take a guess before I go over it.
6 to 7 million this era, I think.
Oh, not even that much. Signs a 4-year deal for $14.76 million.
About 3, yeah, no, that's right.
All right, so let's advance one more day here. Actually, we'll keep going here for a few more minutes. See if we can get to Christmas break at least. Oh, Jamie Langenbrunner gets moved to Dallas for Keith Carney. All right, game versus Washington. We better crush them. And we do, 6-3. I think we've had a lot of 6-goal games this year.
Yeah, our offense seems to have taken a big step forward from where it was last year.
Yeah.
So we were struggling to put up, I remember our first half of the last season, we weren't scoring well at all.
Our big thing is that we're getting points from a defenseman right now. Like, oh, we lose 1-0 to the Islanders. Boo. Oh, man, they scored with 26 seconds left to win the game. Brutal. Oh, bad news. Adrian Aucoin hurt. He's gone for at least 3 weeks.
Call up another defenseman.
Apparently.
Jason
Okay.
More, I think.
So Tito's coming out and getting replaced with Zubov? No, what am I doing? What am I putting Zubov there for? Oh, man, that is so wrong. Oh, man.
Yeah, put him on the wing. I'm not sure how it's going to work.
Oh, man. Okay, well, Zubov hasn't been playing yet, so we can actually put him back in. He's down to day-to-day. So let's just do that right now. We're going to take a coin and put him on the injured list. And, yeah, I guess we're bringing up Cullen more. Remember how you said we had lots of guys on defense? Well, not anymore.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, half-star guys. Okay, Zubov is chomping at the bit, so he actually got hurt at the exact right time, I guess, for us. Okay, so Zubov, one of our top point guys, gets back in playing Boston here. Sim the game, and 4-0 victory over Boston. Hasek puts up another shutout. You know, after getting injured, Solani sure has cooled off here. He has not really got back into the swing of things. 4-1 victory over the Kings. Oh, there goes Solani, gets a couple goals there now after I said that.
First star. Oh, first line with the Stars.
Sabres are looking at firing Craig Patrick because they're 3 games under 500.
No, finally. They were contenders for a long time.
Huh.
When in real life they weren't doing that too well at this point.
All right, summon again here. 3-1 victory over Chicago. Zubov, McGillney, Shanahan. Another game versus Chicago. 7-2 victory over Chicago. Sliding with a goal and assist, or goal and 2 assists. Jason Arnott can now play converted to right wing. And Blackhawks are shopping Dave Ellett.
Get him back.
No. 5-1 victory over Edmonton. But I will, just look here for a second. Coin has resumed skating. Let's look at transactions and trading block. Vladimir Konstantinov is on the trading block. That wouldn't be a bad 7th defenseman, Jeff.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like he's developed as well as he did in real life, but...
let's just see what they want for him. Buffalo needs a center.
He pushed Hammerlech out of a job.
I don't really want to trade Johan Hecht.
You got Grattan, who's not really working out. I'm not sure if they'll be that interested in him. You'll probably have to put other stuff in with it, but...
Grattan, you said. What position is he again?
Center.
Do I not have him signed? Oh, yeah, there he is. Chris Grattan. Okay. 2 players. What do we got for picks here? First, second, let's throw in Florida's. A well-balanced offer is a 4th and a 5th round pick here. All right, let's offer that trade and see what happens. And the Cat is in Buffalo in net. So now the Buffalo's now
backing up here.
Is Grant Fuhr still there? So Grant Fuhr and Felix Potvin they've now created the Leafs tandem from 5 years in the future.
Yeah,
I think Potvin and Fuhr were teammates then, right?
Let's see. Potvin was with the Leafs through '99, and Fuhr came in there in 91 and 92. Was Potvin there yet? Yeah, they did overlap for a couple of seasons.
No way, but it's close to being all right. What? Sabres got anybody else they're trying to get rid of? I guess maybe. Nobody jumping off. Oh, they got somebody on the trade block there. Ron Sutter. What do they want for? Oh, if we take on Ron Sutter, I think they will probably accept that offer. 1 year or 2 years of Ron Sutter. Yeah, I think I'd do that deal.
But yeah.
If they'll do that swap, that gives us better defensive depth and gives us another forward option. Boy, we beat the Leafs 6-1 again.
Mike Keenan coaching in Toronto.
Ooh, that's terrifying. Kirk Maltby is out day to day. No. All right, Titov, you're back in, baby.
Does Carolina want a game yet?
Survey says 7 games.
They want 7 games?
Yes, and have 4 ties.
They really picked it up since the start of the season.
All right, game versus Anaheim here. 4-2 victory. All right, we're flying through these, Jeff. Flying, I'm telling you.
Beating up a lot of expansion
Buffalo
teams, but
has accepted our trade offer. So we give up Chris Grattan, the rights to Brian Ritchie, and a 4th and a 5th rounder for Vladimir Konstantinov and Ron Sutter. Yeah, I think we got to make that trade.
Yep.
So looking at our roster here, so Maltby, Sutter's still hurt. We're just going to flip him to the injured list. We're going to send Cullimore back down since we don't need him. And Konstantinov now moves into our third defensive spot. Hammerlick has actually got to 2 stars, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
He'll be fighting Konstantinov for that spot?
I think Konstantinov can kind of just be our third defense or our 7th defenseman. I'm okay with that. Players need to be assigned numbers.
Check Konstantinov's role too. I think it'll be okay, but
no, Ron Sutter, you cannot have 14. I'll give him 41. I can't check him because he's not in right now, Jeff. Yep. Ron Sutter is ready to return. Ooh, he's only 1 star. That's fine. Maltby is ready to go. Okay, so we're not quite ready to go. I guess we are on the holiday break, and actually looking at the time, it is time for us.
At the end of the year, see if you get anybody mentioned in the end of season player survey. I gotta get end of year player survey.
Kirk Maltby back in on the roster here. All right, game versus Detroit. And it's a 5-2 loss to Detroit. Another team that just kind of gets our number every once in a while.
Yeah, Peter Nedved playing for the Wings.
You mean the Canadian, not Canadian, Canadian, not Canadian Peter Nedved?
Yeah.
2-0 victory over St. Louis. And, okay, before we get there, we'll look at this really quick. Roster. Stat summary. Solani in 37 games has 55 points. Howardchuk in 41 games has 41 points. Mogilny in 40 games has 40 points. Zubov has 40 points in 39 games. Shanahan has 37 and 43. Stumple has 33 and 43. Hey, look at that.
Stumple finally breaking through.
Yeah. Olofsson has 25 in 43. Newmanen has 25 and 32. Weinrich has 24 and 43. 23 for Barnes. 23 for Maltby, 22 for Kristovich, 20 for Draper, 20 for Cunnyworth, 19 for Hammerlick, 19 for Arnott, 18
for
Zamnoff, 16 for Brisebois, Titov playing 18 games of 7 points. Overall, we're getting scoring up and down the lineup right now, and that's making a huge difference for us this year.
Nobody other than Solani is really breaking out, but
player poll results: best skaters Jaromir Jagr and the Rangers. Hardest shot still Al McInnes, which makes sense because even when he retired, he was still shooting the puck 101 miles an hour with a wood stick. Toughest is Mark LaForge. Fastest is Phil Housley, which is surprising because Phil Housley is 31 at this point. Okay.
Still go.
Best role model is Ron Francis. Cleanest is Andy Brickley. Controversial is Igor Larionov. Really? Overrated is Alexei Yashin on the Flyers. Underrated is Scott Stevens on the Capitals. Smartest is Nick Lindstrom. Hard to argue that. Toughest goalie to beat is Martin Brodeur. Okay, sure. Although I think it probably should be Hasek. And coach you'd most like to play for is Craig Patrick. Boo.
Coaching Sabres, although for the moment, he may be on his way out there.
Yeah. All right. With that, we've flipped over here. I'm just going to look at the development report because I really want to know that. And our development report says we have guys going up. Johan Heck continues to just 3 every time. Peter Royal, 3 every time. Vladislav Besniak. Curtis Brown goes up 4. Matthew Dadeno goes up 3. Christian Laflame. Brett Sopel goes up more. Hammerlick goes up another 1. Timo Solani goes up. Yeah, I like that. We got lots of guys going.
Walker's finally to 1.5.
Sorry?
Walker is finally to 1.5 stars from 1.
Awesome. All right. With that being said, I think I'm going to start doing the wrap up here, Jeff, unless you have something else.
Oh, good.
You'd say? All right. So with that, thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well, with stream archives going live at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Twitter, we're at franchise hockey. We can also find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. And of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to official forums. We can come talk about franchise hockey manager, out of the park baseball, perfect team go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Man, we lost to Boston. Two losing games here. Jeff, is there anything else you wish to discuss?
Not quite yet. Hopefully going to have some FHM9 news for you soon, but still working on that. Everything is coming along pretty well. Be back next week with my ongoing Canucks game, which we're starting to do a little bit better in. Maybe even be contenders at this point. So I think we'll be able to get at least another stream or two out of that.
Are you trying to tell us something there, Jeff, with the stream or two?
Well, we'll see. Obviously.
Oh, there's the game to end on. 11-3 victory.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
just keep going here. We got to end a good one. 40 shots, 11 goals. Love
5 points for Solani. But I'm not sure at what point we're going to show FHM9 on stream, but it'll be a little bit farther into testing at least. Not quite ready yet.
But it's coming. So,
yep.
Yes, hold your horses. When we have stuff to announce, we will let you know. Make sure you're following us on all of our social media channels that we talked about before. Okay? Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Join the official Discord. When announcements start coming, that's when you'll hear, and that's when we'll be able to start doing stuff. And yeah, as Jeff mentioned, we'll be talking about it on stream here and be showing you some cool things. Jeff, anything else you want to add?
No, I think we're pretty much done.
All right. With that, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you all again next week.